Assalamu alaikum. Okay, let's get into the session. To discuss something important with you guys. I was trying to look at volume footprint charts and time price opportunity charts, and they're really interesting. But I tried making a new account with a different credit card and trading view and exploring these because apparently these are very important for the style we trade. But uh, they are they're actually quite inaccurate on TradingView. They're like completely wrong. I'll show it to you later. I'm out on time. I wasted 2 days trying to get into Sierra charts and figure out how do you do stuff, but I absolutely couldn't. Then I tried TradingView, and then that did not help either. I was really planning on having a volume footprint chart here. It's so nice. It's so nice. Inshallah, I'll show it to you tomorrow. But that didn't happen, and we're back to candlestick, and it like removes all the guesswork. You don't need to figure out who actually is fighting here. You can tell. Very important to me. Anyway, let's mark the news today is that Apple has been upgraded and by some analysts, so Apple is quite bullish. Mm. And the update on the most important is the US China trade war. There is retail sales retail data coming out this week. But the most important is the US China trade war happening, and US has exempt some of the tariffs on semiconductors from China. US cannot survive without the US step down. Anyway, that boosted the stock market, and you can see that Apple opened a lot higher, 196 to 211. So look at it is 115, mashallah, mashallah. So, and SPX has high as well. VIX is quite low. I mean, at least for recent times at 32. Stock market is stable, I would say. Not extremely volatile. It might become any time depending on the news coming out. If But it's obvious that US and China are gonna hope and try to fight tensions and not let it escalate. Either one of them wanted to. Okay, I need volume. There's no very important level. Oh, you can see the volume here is quite high. The volume from 3 April, 11 April is quite high. We'll not do tomorrow. I might try doing an entirely different style. Allah. But now we are sticking with what we know. At 210, 108 sounds important. Let me take a look at our channel. Okay, let me do a volume profile as well. Where is the stock right now? Stock is here. Um, big strange volume profile. Most of the volume was done at 190. So there are three peaks. 204 can also be an important level. 191, and the third peak is at 180. I think we can ignore this. We will go and profile this ring. We have this. Okay, okay. We have a lot of data for this range. Uh, fix. volume file starting. Okay, most of the volume was done at 228. I think we will be targeting 228, 229. If the stock breaks above this area, can we confidently say that it will continue to rally throughout the entire day? Uh, volume here. I think the value area is this 234 to 213. 213.14 is where there is a volume spike. People really interested in the 200. Yeah, it was support. It was resistance. And that was 220. Which price is in? Okay. Anyway, the important part is according to volume profile. This part, this part is slightly thick. The 220 to 232 range. So 220 to 232. So we will start expecting resistance from 220. The stock is at 210 right now, right? I think it's at 210. And it's at 210. So maybe I'll start expecting resistance at 220, I think. Regulatory. So let me mark the important lines. So there is even more volume. We start from here, right? Sorry guys, one. So I think the volume shoots up to 23.30. So I'm gonna go with 30. Another resistance level value 85, and I'll mark 218 as value area low. 220. This is value area low is at 213. I listen to this. I'll mark what it is. Value low. Okay. And 225 is our point of control, right? It is. Yeah, sure. Point of control. Let's get rid of this. What is this? This is so we are seeing fair bit of resistance 24 to 33 range, something we'll be paying attention to. Maybe even at 20, 20 square to 80. How do I treat level? I'll just yes. I'll write the time period. Do I not need? No, I don't need. Anyway, we are done with SR channel. Yes, important. Going back to 5 minutes, seeing important levels. Do I need to do that? I'm not sure. Because the market might come and revisit later. Revisit on its 6. Might try to revisit uh, value area low might act as a resistance because that's where volume is, right? This is the area where, for example, people have traded. This area where people have traded might act as resistance. Volume was higher after two. Ah, okay. Yeah, after. Why though? Let me check if any news came out at two. Uh, there is a news that Vietnam and China have signed a deal to enhance production and supply chains. There's that. That shouldn't help the US, or should it? Pfizer was a good trade today, but I think Pfizer is haram. Ah, there is 2 hours ago. Apple tops Q1 smartphone sales via Counterpoint Research. Says it was helped by iPhone 16e launch and continued expansion in emerging markets. Apple took the one spot in Q1 25, its first ever for the first quarter, with 19% share. Strong sales growth in markets like Japan and India helped. Okay, that is pretty good news. So was it only Apple that went up at 2 or the entire market? And that would be the entire market. The entire market moves together. Well, Kremlin on talks with you, especially like good news on dealings between Trump and Russia. Broker moves. Apple upgraded Key Bank and MCA downgraded. AAPL energy terminal require full capacity. I don't know what is that. Okay, Goldman Sachs news came out, and I think it did well. Goldman Sachs did well. That's also why the economy is. I mean, why the market is slightly high on morale because they can see good earnings, mashallah. Although I think Goldman Sachs is haram. Pfizer, weight loss pill abandoned. So Apple has these two uh, sentiments that it topped Q1 smartphone sales and it was upgraded at KeyBank. So I think people are going to sell into, I mean, the institutional traders are going to sell into the buying liquidity today. Don't know. Let's see. Sentiment boosted by tariff exemptions on smartphone and electronics, but Trump said there was no exception and nobody's getting off the hook. There's orange hair Trump, man. Anyway, White House NEC chair has it says US is aiming at semiconductors that influence national security. And when and if to have talks with China, making enormous progress and tariff talks with EU. 100% not expecting a recession. Okay. Positive development adding indirect pressure on China. You can clearly see that US is the one stepping back, at least step back with some dignity. This is just shameful. Saying it is going to be very good for American. Rare earth limits are being studied very carefully. White House is concerned about China. White House is concerned about everything that they should not be concerned. Rolling analysis, tariff update, Trump decouples semiconductor levy from it warns they will be announced over the next week. Former tariffs touted in a month. I'm telling you, US gonna back off. I really feel like at least. Might be wrong, but I really think. Meta plans to train AI Meta using public content shared by adults on Go's products in US in the EU. Nvidia to manufacture American-made AI supercomputers in US for the first time within next 4 years. Plans to produce up to half $1 trillion of AI infrastructure in US via partnerships with TSMC and Foxconn. Nvidia really needs US really needs Taiwan, and China is escalating the tension between US and Taiwan. TSM, yeah, TSMC is I think Taiwanese. Correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, we are caught up with all the news. These were all the news. We'll be trading Apple today. We still have 10 minutes left. And I really want to show you something cool on those 10 minutes. So should I open another desktop? Desktop. Mhm. Trading. Fine. I'll sign on the second desktop so you can see. Shoot, yes, it's me. And we are signed up. It takes. Wow, okay. Apple was really supportive. This is what a volume footprint chart is supposed to look like. There was I don't understand, but there was continuous buying. What was the delta? The delta was green. The delta was green. The delta was green. Why is the stock falling? That makes sense. Negative. The delta is constantly negative. Negative, negative, positive, positive buying. If I think, okay, anyway, this is a volume footprint chart and very, very, very nice. I would suggest that you watch a few videos on it. But what it does, it tells you that in this price candle, what was the different, wait, okay. In this price candle, for example, it tells you what was the difference between the buy volume and the sell volume at different price levels. So here the buyers one, for example, 2.02K. Here the sellers one. At this level, the sellers one. At this level, buyers one, sellers, buyers, sellers, 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 and then tells you the total. That in total, the sellers one, and the total volume traded was 290. And the total buying volume was this much. Total selling volume was this much. But the candle is different, right? The candle are the same. The candles are the same. Oh, so maybe I should try to use footprint today. Hmm. I really want to use footprint. I really, really, really. I was checking in the morning and something just went off, so I thought maybe I'll try using. I really need. Actually, I'll do one thing. I'll leave it in the background. Background. And should I do all tab? Oh no, wait, should I put the second monitor? It's something I really want to watch at the same. Should I put all my levels here real quick? I'll do that, right? 5 6 minutes. Yeah, I can do that. The first level is capital.com. I don't know why I get this every day. Come on, I only have 5 minutes. I'm a horrible player. 100. One more. I can't see one. Shit. How will I see the volume? Okay, no. Yes. Not two. Yeah. Now we are. Now we are completely okay, man. Last step. The capital construct. But it might be wrong. Connect. Oh shit. I did not see. I was not. I love. How will I? Hmm. 1 minute. Anyway, let's just do our usual size and we will. Let's just do our usual size. The way we do it generally. Okay. What's this? Anyway, generally, it's written here, but that is not. This looks good actually. The price opened 211 point. Apple is open high. Tesla. I always watch Tesla at the side. Let's focus on Apple. In interest price high. Five. Why am I not seeing anything on the? Show me that. What is it? The price opened here. There was selling here. That means people were anticipating a fall, but there is an unexpected buy. But here value areas with this, so majority was traded. Total was 198, 174. Okay. Let's just, I'm focused on the volume footprint chart way too much. Let's focus here anyway. The price was shot down at 212. Who were the participants? And it was mostly selling pressure. There was decent amount of buying, but if you see the delta is not way too large anywhere, that means there was an equal participation of buyers and sellers. There is buying here as well. That means people were anticipating a price push. That did not, but that did not happen. The price fell, I think. Push now. I mean, we knew that the price should fall from the value area low, but I'm doing this for the first time, so bear with me if I'm not. The important levels are 213 and $5, huh? Okay, considerable selling it. Considerable buying here. Considerable buying. So I try to enter. Is this where you get ready, or is this where you enter? And sellers winning by barely. I wouldn't say barely if it's 2K. Okay. How dominant are the buyers? Predominant. Majority of the volume was resolved. The buyers are really like stepping in. You can see the buyers step in. Sellers, what sellers is one here now. Price was registered. Sellers came in again. Delta 13K. Delta minus. The value area has started to overlap. I thought this might be a good price to get out at. See, right? Volume is overlapping the deltas. But I'm not sure that if this is the price where you get ready or is this the price where you enter. That is my concern. Was I supposed to get ready at this price or was I enter at? It's something we'll figure out. Maybe we'll be taking some losses today. We need to figure out how to use volume footprint. I feel like it might drop a little bit and then rise. You know. Let's see. There is actually a lot of selling at 208. I'm not feeling very happy about. Okay, this time there was sufficient buying, but who won? Point of control is with the sellers, huh? Interesting. Again, I'm seeing sellers dominate. Are the buyers? Capital.com is ruthless. $22. I need to make 44. That would happen. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I should have stopped. Should have taken a loss when I saw buyers not stepping. Yeah, buyers not stepping. No buyers. Because even if there's a value area now, Value area was here this time at 208. Most stock was traded amongst the sellers. Yes, 29K. Mhm. I don't know how I should read this. Where are the buyers? Retro? I don't know. I would have expected this volume to buyers. And why? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm seeing buyers like I expect. But here it's mostly the sellers who won, right? Who's anything? $1. I think if the stock falls now, it's something we already saw in the footprint chart. We saw that buyers did not step in even in the green candles. The delta was negative. Delta means the difference between the buyers and the sellers. So I assume if it's negative, it's sellers, and if it's positive, then it's buyers. Okay, so this is something we saw. Okay, okay, bro. Volume footprint is really nice. Really, really nice. It clearly told you that there is no buying at the support. This was a perceived support, right? This was a perceived support. This is the value area, and people and buyers are trying to step in. And you can see they're trying to step in, but they're getting destroyed. It went from minus 13K, minus 6K. So some confidence. I had some confidence here, and then minus 13, minus 5, minus 7, and then the difference keeps increasing. Minus 22. Like there are no buyers here whatsoever. Total volume traded 54 and 111. But again, no buyers whatsoever. No buyers whatsoever. One might have some. You can see that it has to beat all of these levels, which it can. With sellers one, at least it won't be beating 208, where the sellers won by. Because when I saw sellers be interested at the 208 line, this got me slightly concerned. Like, what is that? Why are the sellers interest? Why are the sellers winning at 207? Like that is the one place where they should not win. I would understand if they won here. But the fact that they're winning here was giving us signs that no, maybe this candle existed only for us to take a better entry. Who knows? Selling it. No level of buying here, I don't know why. Short at 209. At $3. I think I'm falling in love with volume footprint. Okay, let's go back to focusing on this. We are saying no buying volume whatsoever. I think this is how you use volume footprint in conjunction with the levels that you've already marked. You start paying attention to the volume footprint at that specific level. For example, now even if I see buying, I'm not sure what it means. But buying here would have held a lot of meaning. Here, I don't know what I'm supposed to think or what am I supposed to make of it or where am I supposed to enter. This thing gave me a clearly told you that, bro, sellers are winning. Gave me a very clear entry here that sellers were winning throughout. There is no way the buyers make it out of this one, bro. Go short. And then you got a beautiful short from 209 to 206. If I would have done this without the volume footprint, as you saw, I would have maybe expected a buy, because that's what the volume was telling me. But since I was looking at the volume footprint, it clearly told me that I should take a sell I don't understand I was looking at for the first time. I didn't know what to make of it. Anyway, there's selling at the bottom, buying at the top. Not almost looks like FOMO buying, not the good kind of buying, not the supported buying, I would say, is what narrative I'm going with. So let's try to form a narrative by looking at this chart because we trade narratives. We try to understand what's happening in the stock and we try to trade that. So the stock opened high on good news and the stock is quite bullish today. The stock then fell with buyers showing interest at prices like these 112, but sellers were more dominant than the buyers. The buyers were present at the important levels, but sellers were more dominant and they pushed the price down. Now I'm seeing a clear presence of buyers. This is something I like seeing. I like seeing something like this. You're seeing a clear presence of buyers now. It's not the fake kind, it's the good kind. Again, we are seeing some kind of value overlap and we're seeing a lot of volumes being traded. And you can see that the desperation of this buyers shows now. You can see it like could have entered here, but it's okay. Oh, I forgot to look at the other charts. VIX is 33. Apple is holding up quite